What's cracking, little bitches? My name is Nathan or ELEMENTofFROST, and today, guys, I'm bringing you guys a review of The Walking Dead Episode 9, The Suicide King, people. This happened yesterday, February 10th, and yeah, so I'm going to do a review on this. I'm not really sure exactly how long this video is going to be, because I'm going to graze over it and go into some detail about what happened, but right now you should be watching some Black Ops Ascension Zombies gameplay, kind of appropriate for The Walking Dead. There's a Walking Dead game out. I could bring you gameplay of that, but that's sort of a Let's Play game, and I'll probably definitely be bringing you guys gameplay of The Walking Dead Survival Instinct over these commentaries when that comes out too, of that herd mode, or you know, whatever that is. So basically, guys, The Walking Dead returned yesterday, February 10th on AMC, and yeah, it was the mid-season premiere. Like I said before, season 3, episode 9, The Suicide King. And basically, the way it starts off is we resume actually the whole storyline from episode 8 in the arena, and pretty much the governor says that Merle and Daryl obviously have to fight to the death, and the one who wins gets to leave or gets to stay as the governor's sort of right-hand man, I guess. I don't know. He told Merle to try to prove his loyalty by beating the shit out of Daryl and pretty much killing him. Andrea wants the governor to stop it, but he says immediately, as Andrea wants the governor to stop, that it's out of his hands, and I think this is pretty much where Andrea is getting to see a different side to the governor, where everybody is getting to see the different side of the governor. We always knew it was there, but now it's kind of, you know, sticking out like a sore thumb, and it's not obvious anymore, if that makes sense. But yeah. Anyway, moving on now. When Merle actually throws the first shot at Daryl, they get into a little fight, and they get down to the ground, and they're choking each other out, and Daryl pretty much tells Merle that, hey dude, you're gonna kill your brother, and you really think that this governor is gonna let you leave? And you know, I wouldn't trust the governor as far as I could throw him, but Daryl was right there, and Merle comprehended that by saying that they were gonna get out of it right there. So I guess they were just, you know, throwing punches just to make the governor think that they were gonna fight to the death. So pretty much what happens next is Rick and Maggie actually fire into the crowd, and if you guys have been counting now, Maggie is starting to build her character a little more. She has now killed 2 people. Back in episode 8, she killed that guy with the walker bone, and now she killed Haley, the girl in the bow, the girl in the hat that can't fire a bow properly, to save her life. So yeah, Maggie has now killed 2 people that are not walkers. So her character's starting to develop a little more than usual, and getting to start to see, I guess, a little badass side of her, I suppose. But yeah. Anyway, so pretty much Rick and Maggie go back and save Daryl, and Merle tags along with Daryl. And they actually make it out of Woodbury and back to where Glenn and Michonne are at, where they actually left the car to go to Woodbury. They left the car to, you know, walk on foot about 2 miles or so, I think it was. And yeah, they left on foot to go to Woodbury. And they sent Glenn and Michonne back because they were both injured and they couldn't really go back for Merle and Daryl. I guess Daryl. Merle was kind of just I guess a bonus. But yeah. Anyway, they make it back to them, which obviously Glenn and Michonne do not know Merle is with them, and they find out once Rick appears that Merle is with them. So they pretty much, Glenn raises his gun, Michonne raises her sword, and wants to obviously kill Merle, and yeah, now Merle actually knows that Andrea is sleeping with the governor. So he informs that to Michonne and everybody else, and Rick, Daryl, everybody else finds out that Andrea is actually at Woodbury with the governor. So one of their late great group members back from season 2, is with the governor. So they're not really sure. I expect they're not really sure exactly what side what side she's on, but I imagine you'll be seeing them together pretty soon. I think, hence the trailers that have been going on for the second half of season 3. You see her go into the prison with the walkers, so I want to see what happens there. I want to see if there's any trust issues there. There probably will be, seeing as though Andrea is with the governor. But on the bright side of things, Andrea doesn't really know what's going on with the governor right now. The dark side of him. But hey, time will tell where her loyalties lie. Is she gonna go back to Rick or stay with the governor? Now that she sees the governor sort of breaking apart and not caring about keeping a town a safe place, a fun place, parties and cold drinks in the middle of the day and just having a fun time, I do expect her to go back to Rick and stay there because, it's basically the same thing. Now that the governor is not wanting anything to do with parties or anything like that and keeping this town completely safe and, I guess, offset from everything else that's going around. But yeah. Anyway, now we're moving on to the next part of the episode where it actually pretty much goes back to the prison where Rick and the group are not there yet, but Herschel is actually helping out Alan's wound. So they are now making plans, Tyrese and their group. They're making plans to bury the girl that got bit, which is, I think, her name's Donna. They're making plans to bury her, and so pretty much Herschel tells Tyrese that people in the group, other than the people that are there, hence Rick, Glenn, I guess pretty much just Rick. Rick's sort of the badass of the group. Daryl is too, but he's more accepting, I guess, to new people. But Rick, he cuts everybody off that tries to get into the group. You can see that with Oscar and stuff when they first joined. The only reason he earned his way into the group is because he saved Rick's life and shot the other guy, Andrew, I believe it was, back in episode 4, when they got overrun and a bunch of people died, including T-Dog. Yeah, sad days. Yeah. Anyway. Herschel warns Tyrese not to get too comfortable here, quote unquote. So he's worried. He likes Tyrese. I can tell that he likes Tyrese, but he's just not exactly sure that Rick will let them in. And if it was up to him, I believe Herschel would let them stay because he knows what kind of people they are, and I do believe they are good people, except for that guy Alan. He seems to be kind of a dick, trying to we'll get into that in a second. But anyway, meanwhile, while that's all going on, Rick, Glenn, and Maggie actually refuse to let Merle accompany them back to the prison. They don't want to bring Merle back to the prison. I understand, but at the same time, you did leave him handcuffed to a damn roof, forcing him to cut his arm off, I guess hand, but shit, dude, you could at least let him come with you. I know he's a dick and everything, but he'd probably get used to it pretty fast. And Daryl pretty much says to Rick, Glenn, and Maggie, and he's like, don't ask me to leave him. I already did that once. And so pretty much they're thinking of what to do, and they don't have a solution. So Daryl decides to part ways with the group, and he pretty much, I guess, disappears into the forest with Merle, and says, so long, see you later. Have a nice life, take care of your boy, take care of your little ass kicker, as he likes to call it, Judith, I guess. But yeah, anyway, now Rick is pretty much stating to Michonne right now, as he did all this while, that they'll tend to her injuries at the prison, but after that she's gone. I'm actually reading all this info off AMCTV.com as well. I did watch the episode last night, but I can't remember it very well. So I'm just, I'm sort of taking bits and parts of it and sort of reviewing it, going into depth. So he pretty much tells Michonne that he doesn't want her at all, but he's willing to tend to her injuries, and I guess Michonne kind of did get them into a mess, but I think she's going to stay, honestly. My opinion, I don't think they're going to let her go because she did do a lot for the group so far for the amount of time that she's been in there, and that's not very long. So yeah, meanwhile, back at the prison, Tyrese and his group actually, you know, as they're planning to bury Donna's body, they're planning to bury outside, obviously, in the grounds or whatever, probably where they usually bury everybody else, which is like, you know, Lori, where they originally buried Carol, but, you know, she didn't die. But yeah, anyway, Ben and Alan, they are planning on ambushing Carl and Carol because they think it's going to be an easy win over them, and before everybody else gets back, so they can take control of the situation and make sure they have an actual place at the prison for them. So they're planning on ambushing Tyrese and what's her name, Sasha, I think. They're completely against this idea, and quote unquote, Tyrese says these are good people. Yeah, so I guess pretty much Tyrese and Sasha shut them out right there. And we're like, no, we're not doing this, and if you're doing this, pretty much we'll have no part of it, and you can stay here pretty much on your own. That's pretty much what they suggest, and they're not gonna have a part in it, excuse me. And yeah, they just pretty much shut them out right there. So I guess that plan's pretty much done. So now Rick and the others on the way back to the prison. There's a truck, and actually Glenn goes up to the truck and opens the door. Walker actually almost bit Glenn. That might be a preview of what's to come. That's not a spoiler or anything. This is pure speculation. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but he's hanging on by the skin of his teeth, people. Hopefully he gets repaired enough so he can go back out and be the badass that he is. But yeah, he takes the walker, puts it on the ground, and pretty much stomps the shit out of her. Out of the walker. Used to be a her, but is now just a walker. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, after that, he pretty much turns his rage on Rick. Like he goes from stomping the zombies hidden over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, letting all his rage out, to then still having rage after the zombies did. So he turns on Rick and pretty much is cursing on Rick for not killing the governor, and then, quote, "Do you know what he did to her?" unquote, referring to Maggie, obviously. So yeah, that's he takes his rage out on Rick there, and pretty much, you know, obviously discussing the fact of the matter that he should have killed the governor, he should have stopped at nothing, and Rick pretty much shuts down that conversation by saying, you know, like, I really had no choice, I was going back to get Daryl, and Glenn did bring up a good point of, you went back to get Daryl, but now where the hell is he? So you went back there, you risked yourself, you risked Maggie most of all, in order to go get Daryl, and now he's gone, and you didn't even kill the governor while you were there. So he pretty much risked his life for nothing, obviously, is what Glenn's trying to say, because, you know, Daryl is now gone with Merle, and yeah, they pretty much went back. They risked, he risked Maggie's life to pretty much save no one, help their group zero, and still keep the governor alive. So yeah, now back to Woodbury, people. Back to Woodbury. Pretty much, Andrea discloses to Milton that about 9 men approximately were injured during the attack, and she asks the governor, and like asks like where the governor is, and Milton pretty much says that he went to his room to check on him, see how he was doing, and apparently he was tending to a project and he won't open his door. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for Woodbury right there, except for the fact of the matter that when Rick and everybody else escaped from Woodbury with Daryl and Merle, they actually left the door open to Woodbury. Well, I guess not a door, but sort of a bend in the fence, have you will. So yeah, some of these zombies, actually, walkers, got in and mauled this guy on the street, and everybody was cursing at Andrea to help him. So Andrea puts down the walker, puts down, I think 2 walkers, I think it was. Maybe it was just 1, I'm not sure. But she wants to help the guy who's been bit. You know, he's screwed. And out of nowhere, the governor just comes out nonchalantly. I found this part really, really funny. He just comes out nonchalantly. Not saying a damn word, just comes out of his apartment, goes over to the guy that's on the ground groaning, shoots him in the head, holsters his gun, walks away, shuts the door. I found that really, really funny. At least he, you know, helped them from suffering any longer. But yeah, so pretty much after this, Rick and the others actually return to the prison, and Carol, yeah, Carol thought originally that Daryl has died because, you know, Daryl wasn't actually in the car with them. And Rick pretty much told her that Daryl left with Merle after he found his brother. We wouldn't let Merle back there, and you know, his loyalty lies with his brother. I'm sorry, blah 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 blah. So anyway, back in Woodbury now, Andrea actually tries to get the governor to reassure the residents of Woodbury, because everybody is out on a panic out on the street right at this point, and need pretty much some reassurance because they haven't seen the ugly world yet, people. I mean, they've been just hiding in this town, being all safe, being all merry, and they have not seen this ugly world outside of these walls. And yeah, they need some reassurance and trying to get this town back together. And the governor pretty much states to Andrea that, quote, "I'm through with holding their hands," pretty much saying they can take care of themselves for now on. And then states, as he's loading guns, "We are at war." So obviously referring to we are at war with, you know, Rick and the group back at the prison. And so yeah, Andrea then confronts the governor about what was Daryl doing back in Woodbury. And the governor confesses pretty much to holding Glenn and Maggie because Merle wanted to know where, you know, Daryl was, because that's his brother. And Andrea pretty much comes out and says, "Why didn't you tell me?" Because she does have a pretty high status in Woodbury right now. You know, so she's sleeping with the governor. And Andrea says, "Why didn't you tell me they were here?" And the governor rudely, briskly, pretty much shuts her out and says, "You're just a visitor here, passing through." So I thought that was pretty funny, and hopefully Andrea now goes back to Rick's group. I did like Andrea back when she was a badass, but I just don't like her bitching, complaining about everything. You know what I mean? Like Rick said, we've been dealt this hand. You have to deal with it. You know what I mean? And I think that's a pretty good quote from Rick right there. So yeah, back at the prison now. Rick walks through the room and completely ignores Tyrese's group, and Tyrese reassures Alan and Sasha and Ben, saying that when Rick is ready to talk to them about staying in the prison, let me do the talking, because obviously Alan and Ben are definitely not good enough to do the talking, because I mean, hell, they wanted to ambush the old guy with no leg, and Carol and the little kid to try to take the prison in the first place. So obviously they're not too good at talking. They would probably get out of hand too well. And Tyrese, you can tell he's a little level-headed. So obviously let Tyrese do the talking. So yeah, and pretty much one more time back in Woodbury, they tried to Andrea and Milton gather all the residents that are in the town, and Andrea tries to do the governor's previous job by holding their hands, which I think that's a big mistake on Andrea's part. You know, she's gone through a lot, let people go through it too. That's you know, that's my way, but pretty much rallies the crowd, and quote, "Years from now, when they write about this plague in the history books, they'll write about Woodbury." So she's pretty much reassuring the group that Woodbury is going to rebuild itself. It is going to grow. You know, it's going to survive and stuff like that. Pretty much meaning that she might be staying with them, but at the same time, I don't really see it. But yeah, now back at the prison. Herschel, there was sort of an intimate moment, I guess, between Herschel and Glenn, and then Herschel and Maggie. I think Glenn and Maggie are sort of, there's like tension between them or something. And so yeah, Herschel is in Glenn's room dressing his wounds, and Maggie walks past, and Herschel sees that Maggie and Glenn obviously have tension between them. So he urges Glenn and Maggie to share their feelings. Don't disappear on me, is what he tells Maggie when he goes to see her after he's done with Glenn. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that Herschel actually told Glenn that was like, if there was anything worse than this, Glenn, I don't know what I would do without you. You're like my son. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, seeing as though back in season 2 when he was just getting used to the idea, he was talking to Glenn as the Asian boy, and now he's his son. So I think that's a pretty good growth from being the Asian boy to the son in a matter of about 8 months, something like that. So yeah, thumbs up to that one. But that night, actually, Herschel tells Rick that Michonne won't be pretty much well enough to travel for another couple of days. So Rick kind of gets frustrated at that. He doesn't really want Michonne around, but I think he's gonna come around and be, I guess, sort of more observant to the idea of Michonne staying, because I mean she is a good addition to the group, I must say. She brings a lot for them, so that's pretty cool. And Herschel is saying pretty much now to Rick that now that we lost Daryl, we lost Merle, we lost tons of other people, we need some reinforcements if we're going to war with these other people, referring to the governor and pretty much everybody at Woodbury. And he says we could use some reinforcements, referring to Tyrese. So he's pretty much telling Rick that Tyrese and their group is good people, and he thinks that they should stay and contribute to the group. And so yeah, Rick actually goes outside the cells and meets with Tyrese, and Tyrese actually insists the group can help defend the prison. We can, he pretty much says that we can defend the prison. We'll help you with your situation with another group if need be. We'll scavenge for our own food. We don't want to scavenge off you. We'll go get our own food, and we just want to stay here. We can contribute as much as possible. And Rick refuses at first, saying, I can't be responsible. So pretty much after that, Herschel takes Rick aside, saying that, you're usually right on a lot of things. You've kept us alive. We owe you our lives. But I'm telling you, Rick, quote, you're wrong on this one. Pretty much stating that he wants Tyrese and their group to stay because he knows that they will be able to help him out a little bit. So Rick is just about to crack, and, something weird happens. So, yeah, guys. So Rick then has a hallucination of a silhouette figure. I believe it's actually Lori. Okay, so it is actually Lori on the catwalk in her wedding dress, and what this was about is her wedding dress resembles the time that they were happiest together when Lori was alive, obviously meaning their wedding. It's a little creepy, but his hallucinations did start off as audio files. Like the telephone thing back in episode 6. That was pretty fun. But yeah, another going up to hallucinations of vision. So I mean, this could mean things are going to get worse before they start getting better. Hopefully Rick doesn't lose everything. And it just seems that Rick has these hallucinations in times of stress, after his wife dies. When they lose Daryl and he's making this big decision to keep Tyrese and everybody else in the group. And Rick pretty much loses everything at that moment and looks at the silhouette of Lori and says, "What do you want from me?" And he pulls out his gun, he waves his gun. He says that I can't help you, get out. And everybody who is unsure who Rick is screaming at, they're not, like, Tyrese's group isn't sure who Rick is screaming at, you know. Rick is actually screaming at the vision of the silhouette of Lori on the catwalk, but Tyrese actually thinks that Rick is screaming at them, so Tyrese's group starts to back away, and Glenn then orders them outside. He just tells them to get out, and everyone stares at Rick as he frantically paces the room. So that's pretty much it. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen with Rick. Hopefully he doesn't lose everything. You know, just go ape shit on everybody. But yeah, I think he's losing it a little bit. I think definitely things will get better with Rick. Just, you know, after everything blows over. I mean, damn, he just lost his wife. Daryl has left, which has been pretty much the guy who has been, you know, keeping him together. He's had a bunch of stuff, you know, to do with the raising of Rick's baby, helping him out with that. He's just been there for Rick. And now that Daryl is left, and now that he has really no one else, you know, that is his age and can keep him together. I mean, you know, he has Carl and stuff, but, you know, Carl's a kid, and he lost his wife, and, you know, he's losing everything. And now, people, he is losing his mind. I made a little joke on Twitter last night. It was pretty funny. I pretty much stated that, damn, Rick has gone off the deep end, and he thought Shane was crazy. Anyway, guys, yeah, that's pretty much my review of The Walking Dead Episode 9, The Suicide King. So, the next episode is Episode 10, The Walking Dead Episode 10. I believe it's called Home. I have a few ideas of what's going to happen in that, and I actually, you know, I might do a preview maybe on that, of my opinions on what's going to happen during the episode Home. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this The Walking Dead review on The Suicide King, and if you did, please hit this up with a like rating. You know, this was a 27-minute commentary, and I never actually stopped it once, to be honest with you. Sort of running out of breath now from talking all this time. So, yeah, hit this up with a like rating. Share it with all your friends if someone wants a review of what happened of The Walking Dead. Add it to your favorites if need be. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, just be sure to subscribe for more Walking Dead reviews, more Walking Dead gameplay, the Survival Instinct, and the Telltale one. I have a playthrough going up on that right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this whole video. And yeah, so I will talk to you guys on the next video. And until then, peace out.